Added. Mr. Musoke, you're welcome to the program. It's a pleasure having you once more again.
Thank you, televiewers. You are all welcome once more, and we are very happy that we love our nation, we love our communities, we love that which is being done today, and we also wish to congratulate Hitv for being steadfast and have been able to impact the community all this while, and we see that we will not stay back. We will have to put our hands together so that we continue to dish out that which will help our communities to develop, help our community to progress, and help the Cameroonian people to have a better lifestyle, and probably, why not, Cameroonians to also help other communities out of Cameroon. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Musoke. Before we really dive into discussing our topic for today, I would like us to talk on something, because I just told our televiewers, those who are watching us on TV, those who are watching us on Facebook Live, that the last time we sat on this program to talk on topics or excellence impact, you were the general coordinator of Excellence Union International Group. Now something has added. You are the candidate for USDP, the position of mayor for the BUEA municipality. Can you tell us, how did you come out with that? What motivated you to come up? Because we know you are someone who has stood for truth, and you've always been out there to make sure that things go well, especially for women and young people.
Well, I'm a trained expert in nation building and community development for the past 10 years plus. I have the knowledge, I have the know-how, the capabilities, the competence to help a nation develop. The knowledge is there, and I think that one of the functions that help people to actually apply the knowledge of community development and transformation is the function of a mayor. And I've seen our community is suffering a lot, and I see a lot of handicap and lapses. And I think that vowing or going in for the position of the mayorship of a community like BUEA, the knowledge that we have, the connections that we have, the partnerships that we have, the networks that we have created, will be able to help the community of BUEA to advance, to move to another height. So that then my greatest motivation is when I saw that the population of BUEA is suffering a lot. The population of BUEA is crying every day because of a lot of lapses, and those things are things that can easily be resolved, but are virtually not resolved. And year in, year out, those same problems, those same challenges are there, and we have what it takes to resolve those challenges, to resolve those problems. Then why should you sit down and see people suffering and you see that? So let us come on board and let the population of BUEA give us the trust and the confidence, and we'll be able to help them come out from most of these challenges that they have been facing all this while that have not been resolved. We have what it takes to resolve those problems. We have what it takes to bring those problems to talk so much about politics. No, it's not much about politics. It's much about nation building and community development. And you know very well that politics does not develop any nation in the world, and politics has never developed a nation. What develops a nation are community and nation developers. Those are the people that develop a nation, especially the private sector or economic operators, business persons, investors, giant investors. These are the people that develop a nation. It's not politics. So we are not too much politics focused, but we are more of nation building focused, community development, and so on. But it's just that you need a political platform.
That's what I wanted to say, because you need
to be able to bring this to come to pass. That is why we are taking a political platform, to use this political platform now in order, which in this case is the United Social Democratic Party with the USDP, in order to ascend to this function, so as to be
from my mouth, because I was like, how can you become the mayor to develop or a nation builder? At least you need a political platform, which is USDP, and you said you people have all what it takes for BUEA to be transformed. Let's now go to our topic. When it comes to USDP, what community looking at?
I wish to say first of all that community development has two strategies. The first of the strategy has to do with what we call the top bottom, which has to do with the top administrators of a nation, especially the government, then moving down now to the people. Then you also have now the bottom-up strategy, which starts from the community, then now it moves up.
Yes.
Our focus will be the bottom-up.
Okay.
Because we are at the community, we are at the grassroots. We don't want to look at the government. We wish to focus with that which we have, the ability, the resources, the social ability that we have, the community political ability that we have, the community economic abilities that we have, the community investment facilities, the community manpower or human resource that we have at the community, because there's a lot of human resource, there's a lot of resources at the base that are not used, that are not maximized, and all eyes are focused on government. All eyes are focused on government day in, day out, and that is one of the main reasons why we have not made a move. We have not made it happen. You know, it's possible to blame those at the top, whereas you have what it takes in order to do that which you think they can do for you, and you can use a shorter time to achieve that which the people could not get from the top. Let me explain this again.
Okay.
The base, the communities have all what it takes to be able to realize at least the basic needs of that community. But unfortunately, we are living in nations where government has been the one to always struggle to meet even those basic needs. So it has made people to grow up with that mentality. So we are coming up with a new model to show the community that you have what it takes.
Okay.
And we show them how to go about it to meet their basic needs. They don't need the government. They don't need people to come from the top. They have what it takes. And there are other strategies that will show the communities to apply, and they will see how the solutions will come with ease, and the basic problems will be resolved. This is the approach that we are going to use, the participatory approach, where the communities are the ones involved and we work together with them, and not looking up to government, because governments have more problems than you think. They are not even able to solve their own problems. Then you want to wait for the government. You can wait for a century and nothing will be done, whereas you have what it takes at least to meet those basic needs of your community. These are the strategies that we are going to put in place. So it's new, and this strategy is going to help the community to see how they are coming out from these problems. Don't look at the government. The government has not helped them. Can government even help herself? Government has not even been able to help herself. Then you are asking the government to come and help you.
Let me come in. When you say the community has your strategy, one of your strategies is working with the community, involving the community, that they have all what it takes for them to get whatsoever they want to get. You know, this is what many people have been saying. Especially, you have people like these motivational speakers. They will come and tell people that you have everything, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this. But I believe that even if the community has all what it takes, they need something for them to be able to maximize what they have. Are those things going to be provided?
Yeah, there's what we call
finance, all those stuff.
There's what we call asset-based community development, the ABCD model. Asset-based community development.
Okay.
Now, the asset-based community development is talking about. It's a model which makes community to look at the asset they have.
Okay.
For example, the community of BUEA. If you look at all the human beings, all the people that are living in BUEA, together with all those that have once passed through BUEA, who are elsewhere in foreign countries and the rest, when you bring all this asset together, you realize that this is a strong base asset,
yes,
which can do far more than any government. But how do you harness this asset so that together we can work for BUEA? That is what many communities have not been doing. So this asset is available. It has always been there. But have we coordinated to bring this asset together?
They have come,
so as
they have been scared.
No, I'll show you. You have asked me that if can this happen if they don't. That's what I'm trying to show you, that the issue is to be able to coordinate this asset at home and abroad. There's a strong call for the people of BUEA at home and abroad, the people that have once passed through BUEA. People have passed through the University of BUEA. People have passed through ENAP in BUEA. People have passed through NASLA, that is there now, which people have passed through PANAFRIC. People have passed through many institutions in BUEA. And these people are scattered all over the world. This is a strong force that has what it takes, more than even a government, to help their own local community. Tell me, we're talking about local communities. We're not talking about a nation.
Yes, of
so
course.
This is the asset. And take note, this asset also has networks and connections
of course,
of other assets that may not necessarily have passed through BUEA, but that may sympathize with BUEA.
Obviously.
So we are going to use this model to be able to bring that which we can put together to lift BUEA from where BUEA is to the new BUEA, which we call the smart BUEA. The new BUEA or the smart BUEA that we are going to implement. So this is the point is, you need a good coordinator, you need a good leader to be able to harness and somebody that is trustworthy to be able to bring these people together, bring in confidence, trust, convince the people that we have come on board. We are not coming for what has been in the past that has not worked for us to continue in that same line. No, but we are coming with a new line of trust and talk to the people, give us the benefit of the doubt, trust us that we have come with another mindset, the mindset to build BUEA. And other stakeholders around, like real estate investors, giant investors in different sectors, the business people in BUEA, and so on, we harness and we work together to develop our city. And by the time you want to open your eyes, BUEA has changed.
Right now, BUEA is one of the fastest growing cities in Cameroon due to the influx of the population from other crisis areas that were affected. Let me say, because the thing has died down a little bit. Areas that were affected by the crisis, you know, they came with the intention of maybe they will just be for a while and then they leave. But now they have come and tested the grounds and they see that BUEA is very fruitful, BUEA is very fertile. So everybody now wants to live in BUEA with the increase in the population. How are you going to manage that? Because like, for example, sorry, let me just say this. For example, at first in BUEA, there are places that were usually very cold, but now they are very hot because of the influx of population. And also the power system too is weakened because the population is too much. So how is your plan geared towards that? Also, are you also looking at that direction to see how to serve everything at once?
The population of BUEA is not too much. The population of BUEA is very small. Yes, it's putting in place principles that take into consideration the increase in population. We need to do what we call reforestation, which is planting of trees everywhere. That is what is not being done. A council should encourage that.
No, it's done.
It's done. No, I said that is not being done. It was done. I saw what was done.
It's done.
Some years back.
Let's not say that.
No, I said I saw what was done some years back. It's supposed to be a continuous process. For example, one individual in BUEA, one tree. So everybody who is living in BUEA, for example, should plant a tree. I'm saying for example, and we encourage everybody, every compound, every house to plant a tree or plant trees. These are the things that will bring back, because you know that you cannot stop development, you cannot stop expansion, you cannot stop the fact that people must migrate, people must come, people must look for better places to live. So people must come. So now, how do you resolve, or how do you now counterbalance the fact that people have come in? It's using available strategies, which one of them is reforestation, giving back the planting of trees, and so on. Then you also have to manage the environment. You manage the environment and make sure that nuisance and things that bring nuisance are cleared off. Especially the issue of sanitation in a place like BUEA. Sanitation is key. Is key. And now we also see the fact that the population of BUEA is a population that can easily abide to good convincing strategies. But many people have asked themselves, they don't even know what is going on. So we will also use the communication channels a lot to pass out messages and to pass out where we are going to and what should people do and how people should collaborate with us. So we need a very strong communication strategy to reach out to the masses. Rural communication, going to the rural places and talking to the people, if it means going door to door and the rest. Let the community know that we have come for something new, for that is going to be for the betterment. It will not only end on the radio and TV and so on, but we go to the field and meet the rural people, the people that are there and so on. So all in a bid to share the vision and how they can participate into the vision, so that together we can build a better BUEA. We will also be able to help people to help them on land management. Land management, how you can manage your small land and be able to use it maximally and earn your livelihood from it. All these are things that we will be doing for free. Just know that we don't charge the population, because the population has suffered a lot. So let us come and contribute positively and help them, so that they too can freely take this knowledge, apply it, and see how their lives will change. So there are many things in the basket of billions of ideas, and we'll be dishing out this information progressively, gradually, and help the community to catch up with the lapses, to catch up with the retardation, to catch up with that which they were supposed to have had, which has delayed. We'll bring all those on board, and we see how the population will be happy. Let me say that everywhere I've passed to talk with people, they are so happy, they are just waiting and hoping that we should come on board so that we can collaborate and work with them. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. You just mentioned something about going door to door, and also as I appreciate all the strategies that UNDP wants to use. At least if BUEA becomes a smart BUEA, everything fine, is going to be not just for their good, but for the good of the community and generations to come. And the one thing you mentioned, that if it's to go door to door, recently we had a workshop there at the council, and also the UNDP, that's United Nations Development Program, not yes, they were part of it also. So we had to go door to door. And why I'm saying this is that you also need to tell the people, the population, the community members, that they have to change the way they behave, their mindset and all of that, because from there we went door to door to educate people. This is a rainy season, and you don't need to litter your place around. You don't need to block the waterways with dirt and waste and all of that. But if you see the way the people responded, some of them, they were happy about it. But even the population, you see somebody, you go here, this person will not welcome you. You go to the next person, and the next person is complaining that the habits of these people up here, they throw dirt, they do this. So the population of BUEA themselves, it's not that things are not being done, but the population themselves are to an extent dormant. That's why we see everything just rampant, and it's like things are not moving.
No, you see, the council is responsible for most of those things you are saying like this.
Of course.
And if you are carrying out an activity in collaboration with the council, that activity will have an impact.
Of course.
Because the council should, first of all, on its own or on her own, be able to communicate and make sure that people are aware. You know, people are skeptical today, especially when they see strange people that they don't know. When you talk of UNDP, when you go and talk to a more than that UNDP, you know, I'm just trying to explain.
I get it.
Something. It's different when you come and say the council. You know, the council is known even by the grandmother. Say council, mayor, councillors, and the rest. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that these NGOs, these bodies, these organizations are very important in community development,
of course,
and community transformation. But one of the things that is very, very important is that councils should be able to strongly collaborate so that the council has strong voice, especially prior to such initiative that other organizations are also trying to bring, which is there to help the community. The council should be able to spearhead most of these things and even go ahead of time to make sure that the community is sensitized, mobilized, and the community should be expectant. These are some of the things that we are talking about. Collaborating. You collaborate even with these non-governmental organizations that are there, and also collaborate with the community directly and make the community to be aware of most of these things. When the people come now, the community is already aware. No, the council has already mobilized.
There were community leaders. There were community leaders. We have traditional rulers also with civil society organizations. All of them were the participants.
No, I'm not refusing. I am just trying to say that the council must play her central role at all times.
Okay.
Yes, to facilitate and make sure that these organizations have their way. Even before the organizations carry on their activities, the council should be able to already mobilize, sensitize the community, so that it will be, as these organizations are coming, it will be very smooth, because the people are already ready and they are waiting, and they know that their council, through maybe their councillor or whosoever is representing them, has already made them to know that this is coming their way, and they will easily be able to listen and welcome the ideas. I'm not saying that those bodies may not be able. Yes, it also takes time for people to really be conscious and live and change from where they are. It's an issue of continuous sensitization, and the people eventually with time match the effort.
Okay, there's this question that I wish to ask you before we go to the next, because I know that recently I think that was Friday, you were at my 16 to fight against drugs. I'm going to talk about that, so you leave that one for later. But this question that I want to ask you now is that I know we started this program, it's been years, more than 5 years that we started the Excellence Union International Group came and started this program, and through that program you have done Excellence Union International Group have handed awards, empower women, empower children, gave out scholarships, held seminars and all of that. From the beginning that you start Excellence Union International started this whole stuff, was this plan of becoming the mayor or standing in a position that you easily help the community, was it there from the beginning, or it's just something that came in?
The issue of becoming a mayor is an issue of 2025.
Okay.
It's just something like at most a year, but I have developed myself in the past to help the communities. And developing myself in the past to help the communities was not in any way tied to any political ambition. I have been extremely neutral from the start and developed myself with no secondary aim. But I was developing myself with the aim that I will be able to collaborate with communities, collaborate with bodies, individuals, the government, and so on, in order to better the livelihood of our people in our respective communities. That was my major focus. That's why I talk about nation building. It goes beyond just a community. This idea of community development has been there. The idea of becoming an aspiring mayor has not taken more than 1 year. It has been an issue of 2025. That is the plain truth. I have never spoken to become a mayor or even thinking of that. But I just saw the need to step in and help the people, because I see a lot of things that we can do and which are not being done. A lot of things that can easily be done which are not being done. And I know that when you have the knowledge and you see things not being done, it is painful. When you have been trained and a lot of money have been spent for you to be trained, and you have been given the mandate, the charge to go and transform your community, and you cannot transform your community, and you sit there with the knowledge itself hits your conscience on a daily basis. And that's why I say no. By the year 2025, I say no, I have to sit up and get involved and help our community. And one of the ways is to become a mayor, so that you collaborate with a larger circumference of personalities for the good of the community. So that is the plain truth. It has never been there. It's an issue of 1 year ago.
All right, thank you very much. I brought this question because, you know, I've been hosting this program for long, and I know you usually say on set that you are apolitical, you are not supporting any political party, but you are there to tell the truth. You are there to talk so that they will listen and maybe carry out 1 or 2 activities that will bring development in our community. So thank you for clarifying that part. Okay, televiewers, if you are just tuning in, the program you are watching is Excellence Impact on High Television. We are live on our Facebook page, and also you are free to send us an SMS. Don't call. You are free to send us an SMS through our direct line or through our Facebook page. Okay, I will ask you the question. On Friday, you were spotted at my 16 with some youths. They were fighting. You know, the recent phenomenon now is people are fighting against drug abuse because of there's so many activities that people are, the young ones, even the elderly ones, not the elderly, the adults are doing. Those who are consuming drugs, they are causing a lot of chaos in our community. And you were spotted there with some young people who were out to advocate against the abuse of drugs. Can you just throw more light on that?
Well, I was not only spotted.
You were seen.
I was part of the program because I was contacted. Already young men that work hard in life, get married to your wife, then you can do whatsoever you want to do in your community. Stop moving up and down and causing problems and causing confusion. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. And also congratulations for the fact that you had to leave all what you were supposed to do on that day to stand and talk about the effects of consuming these drugs. And like you said, we are just adding our voices to make sure that these things stop. In all over the Southwest region, people have been coming out. If you see parents coming out and talking like this, it means they are getting the effect. So please stop it. Even the recent video of a girl who is pregnant and also consuming, all of those things are not good. All right, thank you very much for that. That's just to tell the people that there's more for them to expect from you. Looking at if you look at the president's speech, he talked about one of his major points or strategies, or not strategy, one of the major area where they are going to concentrate more this time is on women and young people. Like he said, a lot of resources and finance is going to be pumped there to ensure that they empower women, they empower young people. I know that this is something that you have been doing for some time, but how do you intend to incorporate this because the time flies, like tomorrow, year like this, elections might come up, and God willing, you are there as the mayor of BUEA. Tell us, how do you intend to incorporate this president's strategy to yours? How will you incorporate it to your own visions or objectives?
Yeah, the president's strategy is not new. These are strategies that have stayed for thousands of years. The issue of making sure that young men and women are involved. They should not be relegated. They are knowledgeable. And if you see the councillor setup list, which we have, we have made sure that women are there, make sure that young people are there, and men are there. So we have already taken this into consideration. So the configuration of what we'll be doing all the time, we always have women, we always have youths, and we always have the older men to be involved. So we don't joke with that. There is gender balance in the way that at least we have a certain percentage that are women, we have a certain percentage that are youth, then the other part are men or mature people. Let me use the word. So we already have been working and doing this even before the president came to remind Cameroonians and to talk about it. We have been doing it for long. We have always laid emphasis on youth and women being involved in community development and transformation. And since we have been reminded again by the head of state, we also have to reiterate and continue to make sure that in our activities, we make sure that this set of people are involved, and that we try to balance it so that no set feels marginalized. And this is what I think that is very, very important. Let all of us bring our competencies, our abilities, and make sure that we work for our communities, we work for our nation. It's very, very important, and nothing should make us to deviate from the fact that all of us should be involved in community development and transformation, because that is what is important for all of us.
All right, now brings me now to the big question. I know many a times you've mentioned smart BUEA, and somebody who gets the word smart might think that maybe the whole of BUEA is going to be digital, everything is going to be technologically driven and all of that. Can you just explain us what you really mean by smart BUEA so that we understand?
Now, let me say that technology is a tool. Technology is an enabler. For example, we are here talking. It's technology that is helping to carry the waves to what people are listening to us. So the strategies to develop a city are there. Technology will also assist to enable things which technology can enable. But the greater picture is not necessarily technology.
Okay.
Because even communities that do not have access to technology can become smart. Not technologically smart, but functionally smart. I will explain. So the word smart is not necessarily referring to technology, but technology is a strong enabler. The word smart lays more emphasis on the functionality. For example, there is continuous flow of electricity, there is continuous flow of water, and everybody has water at home. There are good roads, there are good hospitals, the town is clean and extremely clean, and those involved in this sanitation are functioning properly. Those are some of the elements that make us to talk about functional smartness. Then when now technology can help us to communicate, to pass out information, to create websites that can host a lot of information of what is going on in BUEA, for example, and people can go and consult the website and see projects that are earmarked for BUEA, which one has been done, at which percentage of realization. People can freely sit at home and you just go to the website and see what is going on in BUEA, which project is supposed to go, and so on, and the value of the projects, everything, just at home. That is technological smartness. Then also where tech can be used to facilitate the functioning of certain aspects of a community. Technology is also brought into play. But take note that technology is very costly in certain things. So we will go in for the lowest price, lowest cost model and start from there, then grow so that you should not go and choke yourself with high cost technology which you will not be able to sustain, because there's also all is about sustainability. When you start something, you should be able to sustain it. So we should start with what can be sustained, what is manageable, and make sure that the town is functioning. People know what is happening everywhere in BUEA. The projects that are earmarked for BUEA are visible online. Their realization and so on is there for consultation by everybody. And whatsoever the council, the community is doing should be on board, that you can consult online and see. These are the type of smartness we are saying, so that somebody can ask questions. Somebody can meet the mayor and say, but please, Mr. Mayor, you communicate. And this and the right. Then the other persons that are there, the assistant mayors and the rest, will be somebody who should be in charge of communication and coordinating, because that will be one of the key issue, communication. So there should be a strong team of communicators that are making sure that information is available. Information that is supposed to be known is made public, especially on the website of the council, for example. These are some of the things which, when they are put in place and things are functioning very well, that is the focus of the smartness. Is functional smartness, not necessarily technological smartness. But where technology can be put into place, depending on the cost, the price, and the sustainability of that technology, we will bring it into place. But where it can be put, whereas other means, other methods can be used to still maintain smartness, and we cut down that cost, we better cut down the cost and use other methods to make the functional smartness to be in place. So many people have called me and asked, hey, smart, I say yes, the smartness here is not necessarily technological smartness, but we need technology. We are talking about functional smartness, and make sure that everything is functioning as required. When the markets are going on and the rest, the people who are in charge of markets, whatsoever, all those things, there is communication, there is information. Journalists and the rest should be able to access available information that they need in order to maybe make their reports and the rest, and talk about the council and talk about what the council is doing, without necessarily physically even coming to the council premises. And if there are compensations that should be given to the bodies, the media houses and the rest, this should be done directly, without people going to pass through bottlenecks and the rest, to stand on a line to sign a sheet of paper and collect 10 francs.
Don't you think it's easier said than done? Do you think that these things are not in the pipeline, or maybe they have been done, but it's difficult? Like you said, it's expensive.
That's why I say that the nature of the expense, the strong expense in all this, is technology. That's why I say that you can do minimal technology but maximum functionality. So you change the model in a way that you increase in technology gradually and progressively, as you will be able to sustain the cost of technology. That is a factor that should be considered. But you can go smart, not necessarily technological wise. For example, for us to have a clean town or city of BUEA, you don't need tech. In as much as you can bring in technology, yes, but you can make sure that you have the manpower, the force, the necessary tools, the trucks, and or whatsoever you need to make sure that this is done. And mark you, the issue of transforming the waste is also in the pipeline. Make sure that waste management and waste transformation is there. So saying it like this is because the will is there, and we wish to see a better BUEA. If others have done it, then why can't we do it? And even start small, not necessarily at their height, at their level. They started from somewhere. Today they have grown, and they are called smart cities in the world. So why can't we also start small and grow our own smart city before we can also reach that level? We are not starting from up. because we will not be able to sustain. But we start from down and grow gradually, and by the time we wish to realize, we are also up there, depending on our available resources that will be there to sustain all this. So these are some of the things that we are saying. So the population of BUEA should mobilize massively, and we still use this platform to encourage them to make sure that they should not relent. They should register for elections, vote, and make the right choice.
Yes, it's not yet time for campaign.
Yes, no, I said it's not yet time for campaign, but it will be wise that some people don't just sit down and think that it will just happen like this. It can only happen when they are involved in the process, and the first process is electoral process, and which they are supposed to know that they should not sit down and only wait, because there is a time limit to register for elections. Yes.
All right, we are talking about transforming the new BUEA. BUEA is a volcanic area. We have the mountain. We used to have eruptions. We used to have floods. We used to have natural disasters there in BUEA. And if you look at the way people have built their houses, there are some areas that people are not supposed to build there, but they have. And even there was one studies that was done. I've forgotten the name of the person who carried out the studies in BUEA, that people should, there are areas that, in BUEA generally, people should not be more than 3 flats up, but they just ignore that, and that's one of the things that it poses a risk in BUEA. Recently, I think last year, we had landslide around this behind area at how do they call that area again? It has a name. I'll remember in the course of the program, where some 2 boys who were walking were buried under the ground through landslide. So BUEA is that kind of a place. I just want to say BUEA is that kind of a place where we can experience natural disasters and all of that. So what advice, I'm not going politically now, but as somebody who is in BUEA, what advice will you have for the population, and even maybe the present council, to take to ensure that we avoid such eventualities, especially now that is a rainy season? We are talking about BUEA.
Yes, the truth is, nobody can build anywhere, anyhow, without the authorization of the council. Because you need a building permit, so on. So if you see somebody building anyhow, somewhere, building 5, 6, 7 floors and so on, the person to be blamed is not that person. You blame the council that gave him the building permit. How come that person was issued? Go and check. The person has the building permit for what he's doing. And we know that it has been over-reported about corrupt councils in BUEA, corrupt councils in Limbe, corrupt councils in Cameroon as a whole, where mayors issue certificate, building certificates, or land or building or whatsoever.
There are sectors that do that, not necessarily the mayors.
No, the mayor, you cannot build without having your building permit, and the building permit comes from the council. Yes, it's the council that it should be. They have workers in the field who go and inspect, and they assure, they approve, they write this thing, all the documents put in place. They have given an accord before this thing is put in place, and it's issued for the. That's why they always go and write, put a big X, write stop work, remove, demolish, because people are not supposed to do that without having passed through them. So when you see people do that, there is corruption in this country. There is corruption everywhere. Some people go and bribe. Some people go through the corrupt channels, and you find them doing things. Are we saying that everybody must have gone through the corruption? No, some people too are very stubborn.
Thank you. And
they can build against even the building permit that they have. Those type of individuals too are there, and they'll go against the law, knowing that maybe if they want to come and talk tomorrow, I'll go and pinch something small and give them, and they'll let it go. So you also have those people who are violating the law intentionally. So such people in most situations should be vehemently called to order and sanctioned accordingly, according to the law, because there are laws that govern all those things. So my own point is that the council has its own part of responsibility. The community has its own part of responsibility. Let each party stays within the ambit of the law and do what is right. There are laws that are against people building in marshy areas, swampy areas, and so on. And conditions for such areas to be used whatsoever, you can reclaim the land and so on. Those rules are there, and you can now be granted the permission to build and things like that. So all this must be taken into consideration. So let all of us as Cameroonians be Cameroonians that are responsible. Let's act responsibly. Let's not go and do something against the law, because the law is there to protect you. When you go against the law and something happens against you, now the law is not the problem. The problem is you. And let our institutions shun from this attitude of corruption. From this attitude of corruption, it has demeaned, or it has made the public service not to be respected by people again. Corruption is bad, and let us try our best to do the right thing. If you are a mayor, don't put your pen on what you know is wrong. And if you put your pen and thereafter you realize that somebody has gone against it, withdraw the issue, sanction the person, and let the person, when you sanction a good number of the people will sit up. Because when you don't sanction, people continue. They say no, don't bother. The only issue is that just go behind the door and pinch something behind, don't permit you. So let everybody take their responsibility and do the right thing.
All right, thank you. You've talked a lot about BUEA. At least if somebody is watching us now and you've been following the program, you know that there are a lot of things that if people sit down and decide to do, they are obviously going to do that. So, and we pray that those things come to pass. You've been talking, Excellence Union International Group has been doing a lot for the population of BUEA and the Southwest region in general. This is the holidays period. Are there any plans, are there any projects to empower anybody? Let me not limit it to women and young people.
Yes, our online training, free training to youths and women still continues in all the sectors and in all the areas. We have been doing that, and we are also waiting for the back to school that we have always participated in and help younger persons, the IDPs, the vulnerables, the underprivileged, the poor. We have always helped them. So this year again, we will still stand with the parents in our own small way and to encourage the children to go back to school smiling, and also knowing that they are important, they are valuable, and we value them. So Escalation International Group has never stopped doing that. This is not a year that we are going to stop. We'll continue to do our own little contribution to parents to make sure that their children go back to school.
There's one thing that is very common in the city of BUEA. Since we are talking about BUEA, we're talking about community transformation. There's also one thing you stand strong for is you used to stand against indecent dressing, immorality, all of that. And some people, when they want to describe BUEA, they will tell you that BUEA is, I'm sorry to use the word, but in quote, that's not what BUEA is. But some people used to say that BUEA is like Sodom and Gomorrah. I'm not sure about that, but due to the things that are happening, how do you intend to talk to these young people? Because if you look at practically, they carry out a lot of activities which is also influenced by this drug that you are standing against, this illicit drug consumption that you are standing against. I don't know, how do you intend to do that? We have girls who almost go the street half naked and all of that. Immoralities at night, you go out at night, you see young girls standing by the roadside. How are we going to tackle that to make BUEA clean?
Now, you know, when you look at the effect and the consequences, I also look at the cause, the effect, or the consequences. You know, one of the reasons why we don't have solutions for problems is because we don't tackle the problems from the cause. We want to look at the consequences. The consequences is the immorality you see, is the drug you see. But what is the cause? The cause is simply that of bad governance over the years, which has not empowered Cameroonians. I have to be very blunt.
Okay.
Bad governance is the major cause of problems in the nation. Because good governance create avenues. Good governance make sure that things work. Good governance make sure that the rightful education at this time is what the people are receiving. Good governance make sure that the women of this era are empowered. Good governance make sure that we have good hospitals and people don't fly to go and be treated abroad. What about those who cannot even pay a taxi? Where would they be treated? Good governance makes sure that the treatment of persons is very low and even free at times for people to be treated and so on. So poverty, frustration because of bad governance, it makes so many young people to find themselves in a situation where they are helpless and other alternatives, which in this case are bad alternatives, coming. So these are complex things that are not easily solved just by talking. That is why in my 16 I opted to help 10 youths, empower them and make them to have something doing, so that would distract them away from what they have been doing. Now they have something doing. They are doing what they are doing and they are generating income. So most of these people don't have anything doing. Most of these girls you see like this, some of them are university graduates who have master's, PhD, that you see like that in nightclubs. I have spoken with so many of them and they have told me, sir, what do you want us to do? My mother struggled to fry puff puff to send me. I now have a master's, a PhD. I don't have a job.
A master and a PhD, a master or a PhD student will say that they don't have a job. Are you supporting that?
Yes.
They are supposed to empower themselves.
It is possible.
It's not necessarily bad governance. I think the youths are lazy.
No, it is possible. There are two sides of the coin. What they finally studied have not empowered them. That's why we are talking about the education of the time. What we are taking and receiving and have that big title has not empowered us. So you find yourself that you are still not useful even with that big title. That is why we still go back now, that one of the ways is to re-empower them to be able to have something doing. How many chances are there for PhD holders to teach in universities? How many spaces are there? Okay, but the person can teach. Some of them, they have struggled to teach in some of these private higher institutions. They are also full. There are no spaces. So what they have studied have not really empowered them to be able to, on their own, be able to do something. That's why we now reorient them and say, no, you can learn something so that you can do with your hands, while hoping that maybe tomorrow that knowledge that you have, which may only be used maybe in teaching and things like that, you will also use it. But you need something handy that you can be doing. Some now, they need to be trained on what we call remote jobs. And this is one of the biggest projects we have in the upcoming manifesto that we're going to share with the people of BUEA, helping youth to know that they exist billions of remote jobs online, where you can be working for a company in Japan. But again, then you need to be trained properly. You need to have the skill to be able to do that remote job before you'll be able to do it. But at least you don't need to travel to go there to go and work. We train them, show them the techniques, show them the little thing that they're supposed to add to what they already know, so that they can be useful and generate income. So lack of income is one of the greatest cause of these deviations. Because when somebody has his job that you're supposed to be doing something, be it online, be it anyhow, be someone has his saloon, which in the morning he will just take his bath and go to his salon and work and so on. So lack of feasible activities has driven so many youths into practicing evil things like scamming and the rest, because that which they're supposed to have, they don't have it. And that is where the government was supposed to open up and make sure that giant companies and come and invest here and employ thousands of youths, millions of youths. It's not there. All jobs are exported to Europe. All jobs are exported to China, to the United States. Because maybe you don't know this, and let me explain this once more. When you buy raw materials, it means that the company has been built elsewhere. There are some countries that don't accept that. They ask you to come and build that company in their country, so that you employ about 5,000 people. Those are 5,000 jobs that you have exported to Europe, which was supposed to stay in Africa, where the raw material is found. So that model of having exported jobs, suppliers of the raw material, so those companies were supposed to be built here for the supply of raw materials. Not that you go and build them there. Then people are rushing, crossing through the sea, the Mediterranean, the desert, and dying. Whereas those are their jobs that have been exported. So that is the point. That is why government should be strict and hold firm that I will not sell raw materials. Come and build the companies here. I will not sell raw materials to you. That is what Burkina Faso is doing now. Burkina Faso is working hard on a model where foreign companies should come and build this in their country, so that their citizens can have jobs and work. Not that they sell their raw material anyhow. They are transformed there. They sell the finished good. Their citizens are working in those companies. That is the model. Very, very important. And that's what we are saying, that we will encourage giant investors to come and invest in BUEA. So that the people of BUEA can also have jobs. But minus that, we also show the people remote jobs that are existing, that you can work. We have first degree, we have masters, and back home you don't need to travel. And that is, you will be richer than somebody who have traveled and is paying high rent abroad, but you are paying some small rent here and they are paying you in dollars, in euros, and you are back here. In a very short while, you find yourself, you are a big man. Because of this knowledge, we need to give this knowledge out to the youths. Very, very important.
Are you still on your policy of reading? Is it 5,000 books a year, or
no? I read every day. I read every day. As you see me here like this, I read every day. I read every day. And now again, the good thing is that you have YouTube videos, you have other things, AI online and the rest. It has helped us to have summaries of great books. You just go there, you read the summary, you gather the knowledge that you were supposed to use about 40 years to gain. Now you use one day, you gain that knowledge, you have it, you can apply it. These are techniques, and these are things that I'm supposed to teach you, and these are things that I teach in my master classes. Master class online, where I train youths on issues that have to do with leadership, entrepreneurship, business, and so on. I train youths. But soon, I'm planning that I will start putting fees now, so that the youth will take it seriously.
Why should you?
The fees will not be high, so that they should take it very serious. Because some youth, since it's free, they are lax. So when you put a fee and somebody pays, the person will take what you are doing seriously. So I'm changing my mind. Sooner I will launch new master classes, and students will pay fees before they attend.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Musoke. We are rounding the program. I wish to give you the floor. We are talking about transforming BUEA. We are talking about development of our communities and transforming our communities, and it all starts with us. For example, it all starts with us, because like he said, they are using the bottom-top strategies, which is good. It getting everybody involved, because if I know that I'm supposed to get up in the morning, I'm supposed to do this, I'm supposed to do this for the growth of the community, and everybody gets involved, is going to lead to a better position or a community growth, or we're not going to be called the third world nation, maybe we'll be called first world nation and all of that. So I'm giving
that is the smart BUEA, and we are spearheading that vision for the smart BUEA. and I stand, as I wish to say it clearly, the aspiring mayor under the United Social Democratic Party umbrella. Yes, I don't want to call the name of some other parties, but that is the umbrella in which we are standing. I'm standing to spearhead. So I heard the list of the councillors working towards taking BUEA, aspiring mayor of BUEA. So you people, when the time comes, we will say so many other things. But for now, know that we have shifted a little bit from just talking about community development to now talking about taking this authority, taking this power, so that we can use it together, work together, and transform our city of BUEA. So we are building a smart BUEA, and all of you are important. All of you will work together so that we can do this for the people of BUEA. Thank you so much, and continue to watch Excellence Impact